Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. More and more, I think that this great country, the United States of America, will fall on its own sword. It will impale itself through its stupidity. I'm thinking that the evidence that I'm getting is the society is being dumbed down intellectually. And I think that's purposely done. Otherwise, why would you want an educated society? To ask you questions and ask questions about what you do? Well, I have here one article that made me make this video, claiming that I think the United States will eventually get so stupid that will make such big mistakes that our enemies will take over without a fight, or we will disintegrate on our own accord. It's like you give someone the keys for your car. Oh, hey, you want to take my car? Here it is. You give them the keys. Look at this article, and I'm going to back it up with another old article, just to show a little pattern, and you can find more and more if you look into. So here you have it. This article comes from ABC News. It is from today, July 20th, 2023. US military emails sent to Mali because of common typo. So Mali got the emails that military was supposed to send, between the departments, among departments, whatever, So, but because of a typo. So let's see what the hell happened. A small spelling error has resulted in thousands of emails intended for the US military being sent instead to Mali, an issue the Pentagon officials said they've taken steps to mitigate. The suffix used for US military emails is .mil, but leaving the I out by mistake would result in the email being redirected to .ml. The domain used by the government of West African nation Mali, and I add after that getting to Moscow, Russia. Since 2015, the Department of Defense has been aware that typological errors could result in the misdirection of unclassified emails intended for a MIL recipient to the ML domain. Lieutenant Commander Bababab from U.S. Department of Defense told ABC News. Some of the emails sent to Mali reportedly contained sensitive Pentagon information such as diplomatic documents, passwords, and the travel itinerary of top defense officials. Now that's very stupid. U.S. officials are, and I'm quoting, aware of these unauthorized disclosures of controlled national security information, end quote, Pentagon spokesperson said. Speaking to Financial Times, Johannes Zuurbier, a Dutch internet entrepreneur who has a contract to manage Mali's country domain, said he identified the problem almost a decade ago. That's 10 years ago almost. Zurbien, who said he's been collecting misdirected emails since January in effort to flag the issue to the US authorities, said he has close to 117,000 misdirected messages. In one day, Zubier received 1,000 misdirected emails arrived as a result of the typo, he told the newspaper. None of the redirected emails were marked as classified. However, some are reported to have contained highly sensitive data, including information on serving U.S. military personnel, official itineraries, contracts, maps, and images of bases, he said. My friends, someone graduated college or someone graduated high school with some help. Or who knows, the person is incapable of writing an email or even verifying it. What does that tell you? Well, that's one example, you might say. Very important example. For years, almost a decade, years, a lot of years. Now, let's go to the second issue. Do you remember this guy right here? Not me, this guy. He is Edward Snowden. Please look at his middle name, Edward Joseph Snowden. If you're familiar with this guy, I'm just going to read a little bit here. He's an American and naturalized Russian former computer intelligence consultant and whistleblower who leaked highly classified information from National Security Agency, NSA, in 2013. He was an employee and subcontractor. His disclosures revealed numerous global surveillance programs, many ran by the NSA and the Five Eyes intelligence alliance with the cooperation of telecommunication companies and European governments, and prompted a cultural discussion about the national security and individual privacy. So what happened with him? Remember his middle name, that's important. He defected. He provided information to Glenn Greenwald. Then he worked for a newspaper, and Glenn dropped it in the media. They took care of the names redacted and all that, so cannot endanger our people in service wherever they were. Snowden immediately was considered a traitor, and he went into hiding, of course. He was in hiding before he gave Glenn Greenwald this information, and some hard drives and so on. He met with Snowden, Glenn Greenwald, I think in Hong Kong, if I remember correctly, where he was undercover and all that. And eventually, Snowden wanted to board a plane to go from Hong Kong to Moscow, and then I don't know exactly where. The American States Department, or the Justice Department, I think it was, I'm going to show you in a minute, issued an arrest warrant to the authorities of Hong Kong to arrest Edward Joseph Snowden. When Snowden showed up at the airport with his passport, the guys looked over there, put it the name, but the name that was on the passport did not coincide with the name on the arrest warrant. So they let him go. Why? Let me read you why. Again, another typo. Remember, these guys make a lot of money. So this article is from Slate. It is from June 27, 2013. Hong Kong claims it couldn't arrest Snowden because the US didn't know his middle name. Do you think they didn't know his middle name? I can find your middle name if I want, my friends. I just have to pay $5. That's all I need to do. I don't have to get in anything secret. $5, I find your middle name. And not only, I can find more than that. And that's the easiest way. I don't have to go and... no, I don't have to. Alright? So the State Department, the Justice Department of the US did not know his middle name. He was hired by a National Security Agency. He had to go through so much clearances that his butt was full of acid. They checked on him. And they didn't know his middle name. Psst. Okay? Someone with maybe long nails did not do her or his job, or whatever they were identified as in those times. Those guys make a lot of money. Those analysts, or whatever you want to call them, they make a lot of money. So let's go back to what these guys say here. Justice Secretary Rimsky-Yuen said, Hong Kong immigration records listed Snowden's middle names as Joseph. Correct. But the US government, someone, as I said, used the name James in some documents. So someone again, remember Mali? Alright, remember Mali? Okay. Someone, the name James in some documents, and referred to him only as Edward J. Snowden in others. Lazy, that's right there. That is laziness. That is ABC 123 when you take care of legal names and documents and all that. That's laziness. And I'm quoting, these three names are not exactly the same. Therefore, we believed that there was a need to clarify. Correct. He said, UN said US authorities also did not provide Snowden's passport number. Such losers, again, laziness, lazy. UN said the confusion over Snowden's identification and his passport were among factors that delayed an arrest. He said that the government requested clarification from its counterparts in the US. That's how it's legal procedure. On Friday afternoon. Up until the moment of Snowden's departure, the very minute the US Department of Justice did not reply, lazy, to our request for further information. Therefore, in our legal system, there is no legal basis for the requested provisional arrest warrant. UN said, in the absence of such a warrant, the Hong Kong government has no legal basis for restricting or prohibiting Snowden leaving Hong Kong. Voila, mon ami. So, what's going on here? Yes, many like them, many. So when you hear people making, I don't know, $80,000, $90,000, go and try to get a job in the federal government and see how much money they make as entry level, okay? Or those guys that made that request, whomever sent that email, I guarantee you is not an entry level regarding Snowden, the new threat for the United States of America. So that person, I'm guaranteeing you, makes at least $80,000. Do you make $80,000? Congratulations, that's a federal government employee. And did that and create a big problem. Why? Because Snowden boarded the plane, went while in the air. When those guys, the lazy guys, realized that this guy is not in Hong Kong anymore, they, they canceled his passport. And then when he landed in Moscow, this guy said, well, your passport, or when he wanted to fly somewhere else, I can't remember when he landed, when he was in between. He couldn't leave because he didn't have a passport, a valid passport. And then the Americans tried to bully Putin and said, give us Snowden. You got that guy. We wanted him. Like a mafia. Not like the Hong Kong authorities. No legal basis. They said, give us this. We're going to give you the drugs. You give us the money. Okay. That's how they operate over there. And then the Russians said, we don't have an extradition. We can't. He has no passport. Based on what we give it to him? Well, give you this, you take this, But the Russians, willy-nilly or not, they said, no, we can't do that. We are correct. Okay. And then Obama was very upset about it, and since then it started the whole thing with expelling Russian embassy workers, consular workers from the West Coast. Remember that one? Including a cultural center of Russia on the West Coast of the United States. Remember that little breakfast between Putin and Obama? Again, they canceled a few meetings. That's where it all started. Oh my God, you don't do what we tell you to do? Why? Because these guys, as Putin said in one interview, that he had so much unprofessionalism from the security service of the United States of America. They could have waited. You don't cancel it in the air. But they were so certain that they will, here's the drugs, give me the money, with the Russians, that they said, if you're going to land over there, we're going to get him that way. He said, no, they should have allowed him to fly from Moscow. Don't destroy his passport. Don't cancel it. Let him fly. When he lands in a friendly country where you can, okay, then you wait for him. Remember what they did with Maduro's, was Maduro? I think it was Maduro. Maduro? I think, can't remember. Maduro. It was not a Venezuelan. I can't remember the president from Nicaragua. I can't remember. His plane was forced to land, I think, in Spain, and he was surrounded and wait over there. And his presidential plane that flew from Moscow, because they thought, I think it was Ecuador, the same as Assange, was his plane. They were evacuated and they checked his plane. It's against each and every, how should I put it, rule-based world order. They went and they searched the presidents of Ecuador's plane. They got him out and they checked it for this guy. Why? Because I think it was France or Spain. I think in Spain they forced the plane. I think it had to land because it needed to refuel to fly over. I think something like this. Nevertheless, now you watch that, and these guys are using force But without this, remember, we got smart bombs. Those smart bombs were designed by some smart people that probably are dying out, and remain these guys. They will be the ones who are going to design the smart bombs. And on the other hand, you have to tell the smart bomb to go somewhere. It's not going to go by itself. And one of these guys are going to type the coordinates, like Chinese embassy in Belgrade. No, they just say, no, it was not the Chinese bomb. You remember that one? Again, a smart bomb used by idiots. Again, now with that one can happen here. We are in so much danger. If you work with people who people consider, oh my God, he's the chief of police. Oh my God, he's the director of FBI. Meet the person. If you can't meet the person, watch him speak. Watch him answer questions that he was not asked before. And he's like, that's his level. You don't believe me? Watch them. I did. I don't talk like this because, you know what, I'm dreaming. Good luck with that one. So I think we are in bad shape. These guys are just going to give the keys right here. Thank you very much. Maybe they give a few sets of keys, more than one. The smart people are dying out. The new smart people are showing up. Good luck with that. I think I'm going to die by then. So thank you very much. If it's only about, this. We are already there. I'll probably not get, I don't know, maybe in about 15 years, we done this society so low that, anyway, we forget to even eat or drink or survive. We're going to be like, someone needs to give me food from the refrigerator. I'm a victim. Who dare? You owe me something. I got 3,000 pounds. I can't go to the refrigerator. Someone should. Well, everybody who was serving you died. Well, then you do it. No, you do it. No, you. How about you do it? That's how the conversation will be in the near future here. I can make movies about that. Thank you very much for being with me again today. And I'm not saying this gloating about it. I'm so sour, but what can I do? Try to raise awareness of this to this situation. When you deal with people, you see firsthand, my friends. Expose yourself to this kind of interactions with this kind of people. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.